Breaking news out of the NFL. Police Garlight, one of the league's most promising young stars, is officially ruled out, just days before the Raiders take on the Patriots. This shocking update could completely change the balance of Sunday's matchup, and fans everywhere are buzzing about what it means. Stay tuned, because the impact is bigger than you think. The Las Vegas Raiders are preparing for a crucial showdown with the New England Patriots, and the timing couldn't be better for silver and black fans. Cornerback Christian Gonzalez, widely regarded as one of the NFL's top young defensive backs, will not be suiting up. For the Raiders, this is a massive advantage. Before we dive deeper into the matchups and what this means for the Raiders' offense, a quick reminder. Backhand index pointing right before listening to the latest news. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's move on to the new news. Now, here's why this development is huge. Gonzalez has been praised as one of the best young corners in football. Some analysts even argue he's already in the conversation with stars like Patrick Surtain. His absence leaves the Patriots' secondary vulnerable, and the Raiders' receivers know it. Confidence is everything for wideouts like Jacoby Myers, Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker, and Jack Beck, players who will be expected to step up in Amari Cooper's absence. To make matters worse for New England, their secondary is falling apart. Veteran safety Jabril Peppers was released, Kyle Duggar is in trade talks, and now Gonzalez is sidelined. Add in the fact that the Patriots are dealing with multiple injuries across their defensive backfield, and suddenly the Raiders have a clear opening to attack. This matchup just got a whole lot more interesting. The Raiders' passing attack now carries even more weight in this matchup. With Christian Gonzalez sidelined, Las Vegas has to strike through the air. Jacoby Myers becomes a key weapon, tasked with creating separation and winning one-on-one battles. Geno Smith will need to stay sharp in finding young targets like Trey Tucker, who could be an X-factor if he gets loose in the Patriots' secondary. But let's not make the mistake of thinking New England has nothing left in the cupboard. Marcus Jones, a third-round pick with dynamic ball-hawking ability, returns after missing last season. He's explosive, dangerous with the ball in his hands, and could easily flip momentum if given the chance. Alongside veteran Carlton Davis, the Patriots still have playmakers who can cause problems if the Raiders get careless. Another storyline worth watching: the health of rookie tackle Will Campbell. He wasn't even on the injury report earlier this week, but a late ankle issue has suddenly thrown his status into question. Reports suggest he'll likely suit up, but ankles can be tricky. If he's even half a step slower, it could open the door for Malcolm Kuntz and the Raiders' pass rush to make an impact. New England's offensive line is built to play physical. Campbell in particular is known for trying to impose his will on defenders. If he's at full strength, expect him to test guys like Adam Butler and Tonka Hemingway in the trenches. But if that ankle limits him, the Patriots' run game might not be as punishing as they want it to be. Elsewhere, the Patriots are relatively healthy. Christian Barmore was limited but expected to go, while corner Charles Woods and defensive back Evan Chisholm both practiced fully and will be ready. That means despite the loss of Gonzalez, New England isn't limping into this game. They still have enough talent to make things tough. For the Raiders, there's finally some good news. This team is entering the matchup fully healthy. That alone is rare, and it sets the stage for a true test of what this roster is really made of. When analyzing Patriots, Raiders, one thing immediately stands out: the Patriots' front seven. This is no soft spot. It's one of the toughest units in the AFC, and running the football against them will be a battle from the very first snap. Names like Harold Landry, Keon White, Christian Barmore, and Milton Williams bring power, speed, and relentless pressure. Add in former Raider Clelin Ferrell now wearing Patriots colors, and suddenly this front becomes a nightmare for any offensive line. And that's not all. Robert Spillane, once a key linebacker in Las Vegas, is now in New England's system. Combine him with Christian Ellis, who the Raiders once tried hard to secure, and the Patriots' second level looks just as dangerous. Make no mistake, this defense is built to disrupt. That's why the Raiders' offensive line must rise to the occasion. Jackson Powers-Johnson, Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, all of them will have to dig deep and create lanes. Because if the Raiders can't establish the run, this game could slip away fast. Which brings us to the rookie everyone's watching, Ashton Janney. Some fans question the pick, especially after preseason numbers didn't jump off the stat sheet. Critics pointed to other young backs like Travion Henderson, who dazzled with explosive plays in limited action, and wondered if Las Vegas made the right call. But here's the truth: preseason doesn't define a player's career. Jante's combination of power and vision is exactly what the Raiders need against a front this aggressive. If Jante can silence the doubters and set the tone on the ground, the Raiders' offense suddenly opens up. And in a matchup this physical, establishing the run isn't just important. It's the only path to victory. The Patriots' front seven deserves respect, plain and simple. This group has the potential to be one of the very best in the league, built on size, discipline, and a head coach in Mike Vrabel who knows exactly how to maximize linebacker play. For the Raiders, that means every rushing yard will have to be earned the hard way. But here's the catch. While the front seven is a wall, the secondary is cracking. Veteran safety Jabril Peppers has already been released, and former defensive cornerstone Kyle Duggar is openly pushing for a trade. Add in the fact that Christian Gonzalez is out, and suddenly the back end of this defense looks thin, vulnerable, and ripe for attack. If Las Vegas can establish the run early, it opens up deep shots over the top, something that could tilt the game quickly. Now, flip the field. The Patriots' offensive line is another story altogether. It's a talented, physical unit, even if there are some question marks. Rookie tackle Will Campbell, the former top 5 pick, is nursing an ankle injury but is expected to suit up. He's raw, maybe better suited at guard long-term, but his upside is undeniable. Next to him, third-round rookie guard Jared Wilson brings grit and explosiveness out of Georgia, giving New England 2 rookies starting on the left side. On the right, things stabilize. Veteran Morgan Moses locks down the tackle spot with years of experience, while Garrett Bradbury, formerly of the Vikings, provides steady play at center. The anchor, though, is Mike Onwenu. Few guards in the league can match his raw power. He's in the same conversation as Creed Humphrey and Tyler Smith when it comes to dominance in the trenches. Expect Onwenu to go toe-to-toe with the Raiders' interior linemen and try to physically impose his will. Bottom line, don't underestimate this offensive line. They may be young in spots, but they're strong, and with the right mix of rookies and veterans, they could dictate the tempo if the Raiders don't bring the fight up front. When it comes to pass protection, the Patriots' offensive line is far from bulletproof. They can move bodies in the run game, but holding up against elite pass rushers? That's where cracks begin to show. Rookie tackle Will Campbell, for all his potential, has already shown shaky moments in preseason when tested in pass sets. If the Raiders are smart, they'll line up Max Crosby against him early and often. Crosby thrives on exposing inexperience, and this could be a mismatch Las Vegas uses to tilt the game. Inside, the Patriots are sturdier. Rookie guard Jared Wilson has upside, and veterans like Garrett Bradbury and Mike Onwenu bring strength down the middle. But no matter how you line it up, Crosby is the X factor. Whether he's attacking the left side or flipping to test Morgan Moses on the right, he has the ability to wreck plays before they develop. Here's where coaching philosophy matters. Josh McDaniels, who built much of this Patriots offense, has long believed you don't need an elite line if you play to their strengths. His system leans on quick game passing, one-step drops, three-step drops, and the ball out fast. That approach can hide protection issues and neutralize a pass rush. But it comes at a cost. It forces long, methodical drives. 15 plays to score a touchdown, with almost no margin for error. One bad throw, one tipped ball at the line, and the whole possession collapses. That's exactly where the Raiders' defense can strike. Playing out of a cover 3 shell, they can bait rookie quarterback Drake May into tight windows. If someone like Adam Butler clogs a passing lane, or if May misreads a drop back, the ball is up for grabs. And when a team insists on stringing together 12 to 15 plays just to reach the end zone, mistakes are inevitable. Of course, New England still has the ability to gash teams on the ground with power concepts, especially their signature pin-and-pull runs out of 21 personnel. Campbell, for all his rookie struggles in pass pro, is already an imposing force when pulling into space. Plays like that are designed to grind defenses down and open up second and short situations. So the chess match is clear. The Patriots will lean on quick passes and power runs, while the Raiders will look to disrupt those long drives with timely pressure and turnovers. The question is, who blinks first? A few snaps later, the Patriots go right back to their bread and butter, the pin-pull run. Rookie tackle Will Campbell gets out in space again, sealing defenders and springing the play for a chunk gain. This isn't just a wrinkle in Josh McDaniels' playbook. It's a staple. Expect to see this concept at least 5 times on Sunday. But here's the chess match. You don't run this into Max Crosby's side. Crosby is too quick, too disciplined. He'll slip under that down block, blow up the pulling guard, and turn what should be a positive play into a 6-yard loss. We've seen it before, and McDaniels knows the risk. If the block on Crosby isn't perfect, the whole play collapses. The Patriots mix things up with other run concepts, too. Outside zone with a fullback lead is another favorite. In one preseason look, it picked up a clean 5 yards. On another, rookie back Henderson cut behind great blocking for an 8-yard touchdown. What makes these runs dangerous isn't just the blocking, it's the pre-snap motion. Watch closely. When the tight end shifts across the formation, it changes the entire geometry of the defense. Suddenly, blocking angles that were nearly impossible become favorable. A defensive tackle aligned in a 4-eye is now inside leverage instead of outside, opening the lane for a back to bounce the run wide. For the Raiders, this is where the discipline of Patrick Graham's front seven gets tested. Do you slide the line with the motion? Do the linebackers adjust their gaps? One hesitation, one slow reaction, and a modest gain can turn into a back-breaking run. That's the cat-and-mouse game McDaniels loves to play. And make no mistake, if the Raiders don't stay gap-sound for all 4 quarters, New England will keep pounding this look until it breaks wide open. The outside zone is going to be a steady diet from New England. McDaniels keeps it simple, keeps it physical, and leans on execution. On tape, we've already seen this call spring for 9 yards without much window dressing. He doesn't overload the offense with shifts or motions, just aligns his guys where he wants to attack and lets the blocking do the talking. But here's where the subtle danger comes in. The draw play out of shotgun. Few coordinators dial it up better than McDaniels. The blocking angles are textbook, tackles and guards selling pass, climbing just enough to wall off defenders, and then a tight end slipping inside to seal the linebacker. It's the kind of design that punishes aggressive rushers. Against a front like the Raiders, where Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz love to pin their ears back, those plays can turn into chunk gains, even breakaway touchdowns. The Patriots' run menu is straightforward but layered. Pin-pull power, outside zone with a lead fullback, and draws that gut you when you're least expecting it. That's why Las Vegas will likely stick with plenty of base defense, matching up against heavy personnel packages like 12 and 21 groupings. And once the Raiders adjust to the ground game, McDaniels flips the switch. That's when the quick passing game takes over. 3-step drops, 1-step timing routes. The ball is out before the pass rush even has a chance. And when protection does tighten, New England isn't afraid to chip with a tight end or back, making sure Crosby or Kuntz feel extra attention on obvious passing downs. It's not flashy, but it's efficient. That's McDaniels' style. Shorten the game, frustrate defenses, and force opponents to play mistake-free football for 60 minutes. When the Patriots do find themselves in true passing situations, expect them to use chips with their tight ends and running backs. That slows down the rush, but it also limits how many players actually release into routes. 3 receivers against a full secondary? That's a trade the Raiders' defense will gladly take. Up front, though, New England has some real firepower. The name every Raider fan needs to circle is Christian Barmore. This guy is a wrecking ball in the middle. Watch the tape and you'll see elite guards get walked backward. He collapses pockets and plugs rushing lanes with sheer strength. Even when he's coming off injuries, his presence is felt. If the Raiders can't account for him, the entire offense feels it. Then there's Keon White, number 99. He doesn't get as much attention nationally, but don't be fooled. This dude is explosive. Quick off the snap, freakishly strong, and versatile enough to line up on either side. Some scouts even say his raw athleticism gives off shades of Myles Garrett. He's not at that level yet, but he's disruptive enough to wreck a game plan if you let him. Add in Harold Landry and the rest of that rotation, and the Raiders' offensive line has a full day's work ahead. So what does it all mean? The Patriots' offense under Josh McDaniels might not scare anyone with fireworks, but it's designed to grind, to frustrate, and to capitalize on mistakes. For Las Vegas, the formula is simple but demanding. Stay disciplined and run fits. Get hands in passing lanes. Keep protection sound against New England's front. On the other side of the ball, the Raiders are adjusting too. With Amari Cooper now officially moved to the reserve/retired list, the team wasted no time reshaping the receiver room. They brought in Justin Shorter to the active roster and added Philip Dorsett to the practice squad. Different faces, different skill sets, and new opportunities for someone to step up in silver and black. The news hit hard this week. Amari Cooper officially retired as a Raider. That leaves a hole in the receiving core, and the front office wasted no time making adjustments. Justin Shorter has been elevated from the practice squad to the active roster, while Philip Dorsett returns on the practice squad. Familiar face, different role. The real question is how this wide receiver room evolves from here. Do the Raiders ride with Shorter, a young player with untapped potential? Does Dorsett's speed give them a situational spark? Or does the team eventually explore the veteran market if the right opportunity presents itself? Names like Odell Beckham Jr. and Antonio Brown float around in rumors, but realistically, those options don't fit the Raiders' long-term vision. And that's really the point. Building a roster isn't an overnight process. Las Vegas can't overhaul every position in one season. Running back depth still needs work. The offensive line is a long-term project. Defensive tackle has pieces, but not enough anchors. Receiver is no different. You start with one or two young talents and let them grow. Players like Jack Beck and Dante Thornton are developmental pieces who could become impact players down the line. Even Jacoby Myers' contract situation raises questions about whether he's viewed as part of the long-term core. The truth is, this team is still shaping its identity. For now, the Raiders will roll with the roster they've built. If the right trade pops up at the right price, sure, you pull the trigger. Otherwise, the smarter move is to play this season out, evaluate who can really contribute, and then attack the offseason with clarity. Because this isn't just about 1 year. It's about stacking the right pieces until the Raiders finally have the roster they want.